Welcome to our very first reading in the fairy forest on January 5th, 2026. Look at that beam of light. Oh, thank you, universe. That's a perfect start. The fairies have been messing with me a little bit here as I've tried to prepare this reading. It's going to be an experiment, so thank you ahead of time for your patience because doing readings outside is limited in some of what I can do and expansive in what else I can do. But right now I'm going to point out that the leaves have fallen from the trees, which I always love so much because it lets in light, as you can easily see, and I can see the sky through the branches. And there's many fewer bugs that live in the forest in the winter, so I appreciate that. But today it's warm as a spring day. I'm wearing a light jacket and I'm walking in the trails, and I haven't had a lot of time to clean the trails because we had a lot of, the weather got cold, and I will be getting out here and reclaiming my walk um, in clarity. And that's kind of why I wanted to start the reading as we walk into the forest, because I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, you'll notice that I have ribbons hanging in a lot of places in my forest. And so that came from a movie that I watched where the characters in the movie hung ribbons on a tree every time they prayed or asked for God's wisdom, and they wanted to have a reminder that God is working on this and that we don't need to be worried and we don't need to be upset. And so I love that idea. And so I hang ribbons out here as a concrete reminder that I'm not in this alone, and that sometimes I might get wrapped up in myself, but then the breeze of spirit will blow and move me on my way. And so I do have my fairy deck right here because I'm going to be reading from the Oracle of the Fairies. So hang in there. We'll get there. But I wanted to just kind of walk around in the forest a little bit and give you a sense of what it's like here for me, with a cleaned path and a cluttered path, because the fact is that you can walk on the path even if it's cluttered, but it's just so much easier when it is clear, right? And so this is the section that I have been raking, and you can see it's just so much easier to navigate. It's easier to see it, right? And so I have cleared the clutter from, oopsie, hang on a second. I forgot to do something. Hold on. I'm going to be going back and forth. I can't have two devices here in the woods. I suppose I could, but I just don't want to. So I'm going to be taking the readings. Manifestfaster.com is where you want to go. I'm just going to announce that to you as we go through. You guys who are old members, you understand how to get your free reading. There are 0 readings for sale today because I can't deal with all of that. And so all of the readings today are free. I am so tickled to bring you a whisper from spirit in the form of the fairy cards. And that chair over there is where I'm going to be sitting. But I just wanted to finish walking around the garden a little bit here just to bring you into the setting. And to just, as I was explaining, when you see these ribbons that are blowing in the trees, each of them represents a desire, a prayer, a wish. I mean, you guys are represented in here because I do believe with all my heart that it's spirit that allows me to come up with the messages. Believe me, I'm not that creative. So anyway, as we walk around the forest, you can see that there's lots of clutter. And I'm going to be clearing the way as this week, we're supposed to be in the 60s all week. So the chances are I'll be back here in the woods drawing cards again if this experiment works out, which is hopefully what will happen for us. And so, again, we are working at decluttering our path going forward. So if you want a reading, manifestfaster.com will let you sign up for the readings. And then I will let me know if you when you register. Let me know here with a comment, and I will double check and make sure I see your request. Here's I love collecting fairy things, and so can you see this little tiny house? I found it at one of our area thrift stores. And it just looked so perfect sitting on top of that mysterious hole in the log that maybe a mouse or some other small animal might live in there. And so I thought, what a perfect place for a fairy house. Anyway, so I'm walking over now. I'm getting ready. If you want a reading, you know what to do. Go to manifestfaster.com. And because I'm outside, I only brought one deck of cards. I have no extra machinery. And so I'm going to do my best. I'm going to read for the collective, of course. I need to hang some more ribbons in the trees right above my head. I can see that. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. And in a way, we wouldn't think of a tree being cluttered with leaves, but it kind of is, isn't it? And if you were here with me in the middle of summer, it's just so dark in here. Can't see a bit of sky. So anyway, let's do it. Let's draw some cards for the collective. I'm going to go over and just check and see if anybody's registered. Do register, please, at manifestfaster.com. And I am more than happy to pull your own beautiful card from the Oracle of the Fairies. Is one of my very favorite decks. So I'm just going to, let me just double check, see if anybody's registered. Hold on. Nobody has registered yet. See you there. Hello. You can hit the thumbs up to say hi if you would like. And if you would like an oracle card drawn for you, I'm here to. Today is a grand experiment to try to read outside off the cuff without a lot of my reading material and equipment. So here we go. I'm going to set the phone down here so that I'm going to let you look up at the sky like that while I shuffle. I do love these decks. I love the fairies. I love reading about them. Right now, as I'm shuffling, I wish you were here with me in person just so you could see how beautiful it is with all of the colors of ribbons blowing in a beautiful breeze. I do need to hang some right over my head so that when I make you guys look at the sky, you can see what I'm seeing. But the fairy kingdom is interesting because sometimes fairies are quite mischievous and they they can play tricks on us. And even today, as I was trying to prepare this reading, I had strange little things happen that kind of could have discouraged me or could have even made me think, it's not worth it. It's too hard. But I refused to give up. So I got my card shuffled. Sorry, I didn't want to make you dizzy. And so if you had, hi, Miss Dominate, I'm so glad you're here. Now, if you guys want me to draw a fairy card for you, you know what to do. Manifestfaster.com is the address to go and get your reading. Normally, I would type it in for you. Wait, what happens if I hit this? No, it doesn't work. Wait, does it? Hold on. No. So I can't figure out a way how to make it easier for you right now, guys. So I apologize for that. It's here. Hold on. Ugh. Okay, thank you for your. I'm so well. I'm honestly, Dominique. I'm so grateful this morning because it's so warm here. I mean, I'm in a light jacket, sitting in a shady spot, and I'm not chilly, which I love. So let me just take a peek. For the collective. So you guys might sense a little bit of a pause now and then in this experiment because I'm going back over to the platform to see who is next for a live reading. Yes, thank you. Dominique, you know what? That was a mistake. I'm trying to work with my admin people. So if you could just go back, if you don't mind, register for that reading again, and I will do it better for you. Okay, I promise. Thank you for coming back. Okay, Dom, let's take a look. You're in my collective today, whoever is here watching. I so appreciate your being here. This is the fairy card that represents the theme for today's readings. Okay. So, and register for a card also, and I'll pull you a fairy card, Dominique. Okay, divination. Let's look at the picture. Isn't that beautiful? Well, this is one of my very favorite cards. And the reason is this author is so clever because down in front of her are tarot cards, and it's so cool. They are actual cards from, I think it might even be this deck, which is so clever. But divination, so this is for the collective. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So I do know that the people that come to my channel are, oh, yes, Dominique, you're exactly right. It is. Wow, I'm sitting right next to this beautiful tree. And I love this woods so much, you guys. I mean, honestly, I'm never sad or upset up here. I need to run out here more often. But many of the people that are called to into my world have a high interest in nature, in healing, in personal development, in wanting to maximize their life experience. Some people find this channel when they're going through a deep and painful time. And I think that's probably because I personally have been through and recovered from many personal challenges. And being a teacher and an entertainer, I want so much to bring edutainment to my family out there. Edutainment. I want to educate and entertain. And that's exactly what I do here. Because if we take life too seriously, we're just going to be disappointed every time we turn around. Having a sense of humor, knowing that nothing is happening that we can't handle, and to accept divination. What is your divine nature? Do you have one? Have you ever considered that you are connected to the divine? Divine nation, right? Divine nation. That today, our collective, we are divine beings having a human experience. Our human personality and our quirks, the non-divine parts of ourselves can get us into trouble. But if we simply take the time to remember that we are spiritual beings and that the universe has designed a help desk for us, absolutely, angels, fairies, source itself, our higher self, our future self, our inner child, all of these parts of us that can come forward when requested and give us the assistance. However, we need to ask. Okay, so let that be the call for the collective today. If you need help, ask for it. You guys know that I'm here and I'm reading cards nearly every day. And I do instant readings. You'll be notified if you when you register manifestfaster.com. Please do register because I will pull you a fairy card. All of the readings today are completely no charge because I can't bring my whole desk out to the woods. So enjoy. Hey, Mystic Christina, I'm really delighted that you are here. So this first card is a call to the collective. We are a divine nation, and together we can accomplish some amazing things together. And as Dominique just pointed out to me, that woman is sitting in front of a tree, and here is my tree. So I am so tickled that you're here. Okay, if you want a card, go to manifestfaster.com. I will pull you your very own fairy card today. And let me show you. I'm very limited up here. I don't have a table. I don't have a second device. I'm like, "Wow." But I have you, I have me, and we are together. So here is the deck that I'm using. It's one of my very favorites. And so Oh, no problem, Christina. I'm going to be here a while. I'm just going to be switching back and forth from my platform back to YouTube. So thank you so much for your patience and kindness if I just dash away for a second. So I do want to check and see if anybody is registered for their free reading. ManifestFaster.com. Nobody has registered yet. And so if you're here just watching, I'm Catherine. You have found yourself at manifestfaster.com. And I am having a little bit of difficulty here. So can you see? I'm just wondering if you guys have a visual right now. I'm showing a dark screen, so I'm just not sure if you guys can see or not. So if Mystic Christina, are you able to see this card right here that I'm holding? Wow, flying by the seat of my spirit here. Do you guys have a black screen? Let me know. I can't believe you see the forest. Good. Okay, good deal. Because I can't see it. But oh, thank you. These are you know what? The fairies are, I'm going to use a naughty word. The fairies are forking with me for sure. And I love them for that. I refuse to give up. I'm glad. Okay. This is another reading for the collective. Okay, my friends? Because the fairies are here and they want us to know we are not alone. We are on a journey. There's only one reading to select. This should be just one reading. When you go to Manifest Faster, it should show the fairy card, a message from the fairies. All right. Let me know if you see that. Okay, Dominique. So journey. Look at the size of this rabbit. Rabbits are known for being fertile, magical. I think of the rabbit that's in Alice in Wonderland, right? Very mysterious, and this is certainly a call for us to believe in the magic. So, Christina Rose, I know that with your story, I know a little bit more about your journey. And so I know that the loss of this deck, it represents one of the hardships along your journey, right? Hi, James. Welcome. So, in this card, this is for the collective, James, and Dominique, and Christina Rose, and anyone else who's listening. Go to manifestfaster.com and you will receive your free reading today. Okay, so journey. It's time to prepare for a journey, dear collective. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. So I have a feeling there's someone watching me right now. There is some travel in your future. You've wanted to go, you've been itching to go, but you haven't. Well, let's just say that the timing has not been right. But one of the things that's been happening for you is that you've kind of forgotten that you have a team, that there are angels, guides, and spirits who desire to reach out and help you. Believe me, I have been through the most unbelievable experiences where opportunities showed up out of the blue. I never anticipated it. And it's not exactly like the thing I thought I wanted, but what comes into my life is so grand. I'm like, holy moly, I am um, experiencing something that's way farther than and happier and better than anything I dreamed. For example, I really loved living in Mexico. I lived where I could see the ocean from every window in my casita. I I saw sunset every night. Um, it filled my being with such joy, and leaving Baja was very grievous for me, and I still feel sad sometimes. However, here I am, you guys. I'm in a fairy forest, and I only wish that you could see what I'm seeing with the ribbons that are hanging. I wonder if you can see it. For me, it's so easy. And as I told you guys in the introduction, I hang ribbons from the branches for each blessing I have sent, for each intention that I've set, for each time I've connected with the divine. Because what it does for me is it just builds my confidence. Okay, so what I'm seeing that well, my Flopsy girl in heaven for a year with her daddy. Wow, this is very synchronistic. Now I look at the I'm looking at I guess it's almost like a scarf that's on the back of this rabbit, and I wonder why. Oh, royalty, royalty, absolutely. It's as if the rabbit is royal. But I also see that it has a harness on. It has a it looks like a silent leader from Gentle Leader as a dog training tool, where it's a leash, but it goes around the nose, and so it keeps control of the animal. And so this little fairy has been trying to control the big magic. And maybe you are like that, that you sense that there are some things that you could do with life, but you don't have any idea how to do it, right? And so you might forget who you're connected to and how magical life can be if you let it. Okay, again, for the collective. If this reading is touching your heart, fantastic. What journey are you being called to? What journey? Okay, fantastic. Now I'm going to try again. God knows what's going to happen. Yes, God knows. And it's fine. Everything will be fine, Catherine. No worrying. Okay, so now let me switch screens again. I just want to check and see. Hi, Montaigne Mission. I'm not answering those types of questions today, but I am giving you a reading of the fairies' perspective on your situation, okay? Because the fairies are very informative, and they inform with pictures and with words. Now, I know there's a lot of fabulous tarot readers out there who will be reading about relationships today. And so feel free to go on if this is not what you're looking for, my friend. But if you would like to have a message from the fairies, I am here for you. All you need to do is go to manifestfaster.com. Okay, manifestfaster.com, and you can request a personal reading right here, right now from the fairies. Okay, Too Young to Be, welcome. Glad you're here. I would love to pull a card for you. So, again, manifestfaster.com. I will be right back. I'm just going to see who is in the queue. Normally, I put the link right there for you guys to be able to click, and I can't figure out how to do that out here in the woods. So I have to just depend that you guys can depend on yourself. And yes, did you hear that train? I know. I just love it. I love the train. And it came right after that journey card. That's cool, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to pull another card from for the collective. All the fairy people who love it. Oh, thank you, Christina. You have to put the HTTPS colon slash and then the manifest faster. Okay. Oh gosh, Mystic Christina, is that would be such a gift. Thank you, darling. Okay, so this is for the collective. Okay, so here's your. Oh, my screen came back. Thank you, fairies. You guys, the fairies are forking with me big time. And if you don't know what the forking reference is, you got to watch The Good Place on Netflix. Anyway, okay, let's see what this card is. Ooh, purity. And this is again for the collective. Can you see that okay? All right, purity. The first thing that I'm aware of is just this beautiful smile on that fairy's face. Just beautiful. And it's the total opposite energy that we saw with that rabbit, because that figure looked insecure with her sign from the fairies. She had a leash, like a muzzle on the rabbit, as if it was hard for her to accept her magic. And in this one, look at that. She has no problem believing in her powers. She knows that spirit brings the light. Okay. If you, I always hope you guys bring a pencil, paper, pen to jot notes during these readings, because they're so filled with juicy tidbits. And so in this particular card, we are being called to know that spirit holds the key. Your angelic helpers, spirit guides, source are all lighting the way. All we need to do is see it. It's right there for us. So, what is this purity message? Let's take a peek. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. So, what is it that you're wondering about? What is it? The thing to remember is that your imagination, bless its heart, it's one of the most wonderful things about being human. But the imagination can make it hard for us to move forward in our life because the imagination is the place that all of the pain and the disappointments run through, like on a movie screen. Our imagination is designed for upliftment. But unfortunately, because of how difficult life is from time to time, we can start to cringe from what's stored in our imagination. So, purity, what, when you, how do you know that your heart is cluttered with things that are holding you back? How do you know if your mind is cluttered with ideas and thoughts that are holding you back? Okay, this is a key issue because if your mind has clutter, if your mind and your imagination are filled with memories from the past that are painful, you have clutter. I know how to declutter. Most of the energy healers that you will meet are experts at decluttering. They may not say it like that, but that's what they're wanting to help you with, to declutter. Look at how that light is reflecting. Wow, that's so cool. The sun is right behind me. Now I'll move the magic over here. Can I? Yes, I put the magic on her heart. The reality is that when our heart is compromised with pain and disappointment, clutter is the key. And I personally, between using tapping and script writing and living as if, three different techniques coming together is what I call my decluttering process. And I actually hold your hand and walk you through how to become decluttered. There are probably 100 different decluttering methods available to you. And Mystic Christina, I love. I just learned the best thing about clutter and my style of organizing. Again, if you look up on YouTube search and you look up for how to declutter my home, you will literally find hundreds of videos. The idea of decluttering your mind, well, that's my own particular idea. I'm not sure you'd find a lot of references for that yet, but you can be on the cutting edge. If you go visit my site at manifestfaster.com, I have a particular reading that is for decluttering, and you'll find it at the bottom of my page when you go visit over there. Okay. So, anyway, this is a great card for the collective because, again, I am committed to helping as many people as I can to get out of their own way, to have more fun for sure, more peace, more contentment, and just in general to just have a better quality of life no matter what's going on around you. Okay, so I am again. You're at the forest with me. This is my own beautiful place in nature. It does not belong to me. But the owner, when the owner came here and saw there's a cluttered trail right there with all the leaves, and I've been working on decluttering my area here. There's my shadow. Hi. And the owner walked in here and he said to me, he ran into me in the parking lot. And he said, somebody's making a path out there in the woods and it looks real nice. And I said, that was me. He said, you did that? And I said, uh-huh. And he said, you feel free. You can do whatever you want in that woods. Imagine that. I don't have to pay property tax on it. I don't have to do anything but have 100% pleasure in enjoying this nature, which I just can't tell you how much I love it. It's just my favorite place here in Tennessee. And now also I do want to mention a couple things. If you happen to come to Tennessee, you and I can walk these paths together. I do offer in-person work, and I even do a half-day mini retreat where you can come here to my home in Tennessee and be in the woods with me, and together we can create some magic for you, my darlings. Also, I do tarot readings on Zoom with groups. So if you have a friend or two or three and you'd like to gather together to have a tarot party, I'm your girl. And I hope you would think of me to educate and entertain your group of friends. Okay. So, yes, and I will, once I do declutter all of my paths and it's clear, I will gladly, and I can't wait to show you how gorgeous it is when it is filled with order. So hold on a second. I'm going to go check and see my queue, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Hi, Dominique. Thank you so much for hanging in there. You guys, I told you I have to take a break now and then to go see who's in line. And I know Dominique, and then we have Christina Rose, and then the third person, I can't remember right this second, but I will keep you guys in mind. You're doing great. Thank you for going to Manifest Faster to register so I can do your reading. Too young to be. I am in India. Yes, well, absolutely. Imagine that on the whole other side of the world. That's so cool. And yes, if you come to the States and you're in my neighborhood, you definitely let me know. All right, so Dominique, here is your fairy card for today. Your fairy oracle card. Let's see. Oh, oh Lordy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I can only imagine how this art is hitting you, Dominique. Same for you, Mystic Christina. You guys have a very personal connection. Both of you guys have lost your beloved. Dominique, I know it was a year ago, was it yesterday? Was a year ago that you lost your beloved? And I know that Christina Rose is in the same way. So look at this art. I just have goosebumps all over myself. Gosh. So, Dominique, what I'm seeing here is that I'm going to read it. Let me read it first. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone, and the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. Now, Dom, I have seen you asking for help. You have come to me for a grief reading, and I will tell you guys, I offer grief readings at no charge. For me personally, I'm a grief I've done a lot of grief work. I actually worked at the pet cemetery and I ran a grief group for pet owners. I'm also a hospice volunteer, and I actually was holding hands with my own mom when she passed away. She was a piece of work, God love her. And she and I had so many ups and downs. And as Grace would have it, there was a repair at the very end of her life when I sat with her and was with her, assisting her as she crossed over. And so we share that in common. And I want to be able to offer grief readings for anyone who's struggling with grief. So you'll find that reading on my website, manifestfaster.com. So, Dom, I really feel like this is Devin's energy. I feel like you're reaching to understand. And he, on the other side of the veil, whatever is going on for him in his world right now, he is absolutely 100% committed to your journey. That the love you guys shared before he left, that's not something that dies, thing that dissolves as his essence shifted to that other sense of reality. it's important that you ask for the help you need. Notice those two feathers that are fallen. The two feathers to me are clues. So watch for feathers. Every time you see or find a feather, know that's your symbol that your beloved is thinking of you in that moment. Meanwhile, can you see the pink of those sparkles that are going out of the left hand of this angel? Those pink sparkles to me represent sweet, gentle love. And so I believe in this current energy that you are going to be guided to exactly who the right people are to help you. You do need some assistance to recreate your life and how you look at it without Devin in it. Okay. If I can help you with my teachings and the experiments that I set up with my private clients, I would love to do that. Don't worry, you are not the worst. This is such a great reading and you're going to love it. That's the beauty of recording. So mark the time right now. And when you just come back after the readings, I'm sure that you'll be able to resonate to some of the other cards. But the words that were spoken with this card are permanently embedded into this recording and you won't lose it. But remember, asking for help is the key. Don't be afraid to get navigation advice. You wouldn't start driving to an unfamiliar place without setting up your GPS. And that's what you're being called to do. If you don't know how to set up the GPS for your life, ask for help. I'm here, and there are countless readers and counselors available for your assistance, Dom. Okay? All right. And here comes another train. See here, there's some stuff about being outside that's a little distracting. I don't see any animals. I always am on the lookout for any animals that visit during readings because I think it's significant. So, okay, now Mystic Christina, you are next. So let me draw a card. And for those of you who are new here, if you're unfamiliar, I am so happy to pull a card for you at no charge. All we ask is that you go to manifestfaster.com and register for your reading. Okay? Manifestfaster.com. I apologize. Normally, I have a link there for you to click, but because of the fact that I'm outside with very little equipment, y'all are just going to have to be patient with me. Okay? All right. There was always a train passing. Aw, see, that's such a sign. I love that, Dominique. How did you find this channel originally? I know just from our brief contact that we are soul sisters. I'm just so glad that you're here. And too young to be, oh, yes. It is so important to find time to get out into the country, too young to be. There is a lot of energy that gets crowded in your spirit because of living with crowds. So there may be a park or a river nearby that some wise person has set aside a piece of country that are a piece of country right in the middle of the city. It makes me think of I love it. Well, you scrolled in the right direction, girl. In New York City, there's a beautiful park called Central Park, and it's so huge that when you're in the middle of it, you would never know you're in a city. Okay, so be sure to look for places nearby where you can get out and find some nature. Okay, next we have Chris. Did I do Dom? Yeah, Christina, you're next. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Mystic Christina's beloved was a firefighter, such a brave, brave man. And so whenever sirens go by, do you register? Oh, the sirens, right. So I've got sirens going on for Mystic Christina. I've got trains going on for Dominique. I know that we're on the right track and we're really hearing from Spirit today. Welcome. If you're new here, welcome. I'm out here. I've got my half gloves on because it's just a teeny bit chilly in Tennessee, but for the most part, absolutely gorgeous. I've got my prayer flags. hanging all over the garden, signals to me that as the wind blows these beautiful flags, it's just always that reminder that everything is always shifting, especially if you are called to a spiritual purpose and you have interest in spiritual matters, that you are ready to receive signs and symbols. I wish I could just, I can't zoom on this. Oh, I can. Oh my goodness, I just discovered that. How about that? um, Look at that. See, now you can see across the garden a little bit better. And way over there, that's an angel that's sitting in behind that log that's part of the path. And then I do have a real fairy garden over there on the other side of the garden. I'll take you over there and show you that one day. But I saw a movie where that's what they did every time they prayed or asked God to work on their behalf. They would hang a ribbon in the tree. And so that's what I've done throughout the garden. I bet you well, I know there's well over 100 ribbons hanging in here. So there you go. Okay, let's take a look at Christina's card. And thank you for letting me just chat whatever I feel like chatting. Okay, here you go, Mystic Christina. If anybody else would like to have a reading, just go to manifestfaster.com and you can register for your reading right there. It's super easy. Manifestfaster.com. Wow, let's see here. The tree Dryad, I think is how you say that. This tree Dryad will help you navigate through your current situation, Mystic Christina. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sounds it makes. Now, knowing you and how Dryad, thank you very much for helping. I need all the help I can get. So, Mystic Christina, as we have worked together, I can't think of the countless times we have had synchronicities. Even with that backpack that you had given to your friend and then it returned to you, there was symbolism on that that resonated between us. And so it wouldn't surprise me in at all if you don't have a flute, have played the flute. Um, Somebody you love plays the flute because that's how our lives have intersected so much. But for me, what it does is it really makes me aware of the power of healing sound. The power of healing sound. This tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation, Mystic Christina. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sound it makes. So you have a recorder. Of course you do. Well, considering I just got in from laying in the snow under the trees, did you play a recorder out there? Tell me you. I will fly off this chair if you did. Yes. So this could very well be a recorder, couldn't it? Oh, okay. Well, will you do that for me one time just to humor me? Yes, because there's something about that. Right before I got on this call or with this video with you guys, I was in a coaching session with a really wonderful woman in England who's doing some spectacular work on the power of the voice. Charlotte, I'm really enjoying it. And we actually did a toning exercise where we chanted a tone over each of the chakras of our body. And it was really a fun experience. And we can talk more about that later. But for you, Mystic Christina, what I would suggest is that you take your recorder and then starting off with the lowest tone of your recorder, play it as you meditate on your root chakra, and then just go all the way up through all of your chakras and play a different note for each one, huh? That's a fun experiment. We are not our own. We are not on our own. Can you guys say that after me? Go ahead and say it out loud if it's convenient. We are never on our own. We are never on our own. You have spiritual guides and helpers right here, right now. You can't see them. They hid my adapter, that not my charger for my phone. I could not find my charger and I wanted to come out to the woods and I know it's in that house somewhere couldn't find it. One of the things that the fairies do is I mean, you don't have to believe like I do. Trust me, I get it. My family thinks I'm a bit flaky, but I love to think that the fairies are messing with me, especially when I lose something that it can't be that far in the tiny home I live in. So I love it, Mystic. I know our lives absolutely echo one another. Now, the one thing I will tell you, Christina Rose, is that this particular card has an important message. So lean in. Look at all the green, right? It's green on green. Green is the color of the heart chakra. So it seems to me that it might be a good idea for you to find a sound healing video, maybe singing bowls that's for your heart chakra. And then I would play the recorder. Do you have a drum by chance? You could bang the drum. I have a drum. But playing the recorder, because it's pictured here, and just kind of jam, riff with a sound healing for your heart chakra. Okay, give it a try. And the biggest message of all is that sound, being outside, listening to what's there, the sound of nature. Next time you take a walk, stay alert. What are you hearing? Right? Moving forward, I know I have someone else here in line. Those of you who are just visiting, thank you so much. I'm Catherine. Welcome. I usually have a setup and I have lots of fanciness around me. And today it's such a beautiful day here in Tennessee. My prayer flags are all blowing so beautifully in the wind. And there was just no question that I wanted to come outside today. Very rare to have a beautiful day like this in January here in Tennessee. And so I'm over the moon that we can do this together. So, meanwhile, if you would like to have a fairy reading, I am your girl, manifestfaster.com. Just go there, register, and I will read a fairy card for you. Now, let me just take a quick break and see who's next for a reading. Hi, Yamini. You have such a beautiful name, and I know that you're getting admitted to the proper school is what's important to you, and the fairies know that too. So let's just see what is the fairy energy right now when it comes to what you're needing to know. Okay, so let's pick a card. Here's your card. And the first thing that I'm aware of, Yamini, is that there are two keys. Can you see the two keys? So, what this suggests to me is that the situation that you're asking me about, it might have two parts or two options or two things that you need to consider. Okay, not sure about that. Let's see what the fairies say. Shine from within. Shine from within. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty shines from within, and it's time for you to shine, Yamini. This is a time for self acceptance and for revealing your true beauty. Okay, this is a great reading for you. Okay, as you are putting in your application, right now I have a grandson who just got accepted to the college that he wanted to go to. And so he's very excited. And I know how nervous we are when we're waiting to hear news like this, aren't we? But Spirit is here to tell you, Yamini, you have a bright light within you. Now, this is a young fairy. Excuse me. I did not bring water. I'll remember that next time. Yamini, you have youthful vigor. Your youth, the youth that you have, many people are envious of. Some older people in your life look at you and they wish they were young again. I don't know why I'm even saying that, but I feel that's true for you. And some older people might even say things to you that feel disrespectful because they see you as young. Believe me, you are ready for the challenge of the schooling you're looking for. As you shine from within, you will be recognized for your talents and your abilities and your confidence. Okay? It's important that whenever you feel doubtful or you feel fearful, that you go inside within your heart and spirit. Within your culture, what are the spiritual um, rituals? What are the spiritual practices within your culture that tend to bring you peace and calmness? Many times it's cross cultural. For example, meditation is something that is concrete for me. It helps me. It helps me click into within, my within. And when I breathe and relax, I feel connected to spirit. Okay, so Yamini, polish your spirit. Keep taking care of your energy from the inside. Meditate, yoga, do some writing where you write down what is it that you exactly want from your next school experience. Write down your ideal story. If you were accepted, what would be happening in your life? Write it down and then fold it up into a piece of paper that's small enough for the palm of your hand. Hold your hand over your heart with the piece of paper underneath your hand and humbly ask. Ask for spirit to guide you. Ask for spirit to help you plug in so that you are shining from within. And then take that piece of paper and tuck it into a book. Tuck it somewhere where you won't see it for a while. Put it out of your mind. And when you find yourself worrying if you will be accepted in the future, all you have to do is say, wait, I don't have to worry about that. I already gave that to spirit. And you can say that as many times as you need to. I don't need to worry about that. I'm giving it to spirit. Okay, Yabini? Do you think that you can do it? Too young to be? Trust in the divine. If for some reason it doesn't work out the way you want, believe me, it will mean the only meaning of that is that spirit has something for you that's better. If you want, and if you can, if there's a place where you can hang ribbons in your life, maybe where you live, there's a railing outside of your home. I don't know what kind of home you live in, but you can find ribbon like this in many different surprising places at the flea markets or wherever you shop, and you could create your own altar of prayer flags that when the wind touches them, you can be reminded that spirit is always working on your situation. See how those ribbons are barely moving, but they're not still. And that's the thing, as a human, we can get so discouraged because we feel like spirit has forgotten us and that nothing will work out for us. And yet, spirit would say that's not the truth. You just can't see everything that is on its way. There's a lot being done behind the scenes that you cannot see, but your highest good is what your spirit is wanting to guide you toward, okay? Wonderful. Mystic Christina Rose, I found some gorgeous ribbon in my aunt's stuff. Isn't that great? I ended up going to Walmart, and Walmart was selling ribbon for very inexpensive. And so I purchased several colors there the other day. And then last year, what I did was I ordered some sari ribbons, which were silk trimmings from saris from the women in India. And I love those also. And so I may very likely order another bag of scraps so that I can continue to add to the collection. Because, like, if you look out there, there's not one single ribbon. And so right away, my mind goes, uh huh, what can we do about that? So anyway, let's see here. Now, let me just, anyone who's just visiting me, I know that scrolling is the favored habit of most people, and I appreciate that. I'm so glad you scrolled past my world. I'm Catherine, and this is Pattern Breaker Tarot because sometimes we have a pattern of actions that actually hold us back from what we're really wanting. We have a habit of belief, and we almost trust in our negative thinking more than we trust in the power of positive possibility thinking. Have you ever caught yourself like that, where you're suddenly dwelling on something that is making you feel trapped and you can't get free of it? But the reality is that spirit is always working behind the scenes. So, Yamini, I'm really nervous for the results. Yes, it is a nervous time, Yamini. But the best way to go about it, and I know this may feel harsh. I apologize if it feels harsh, but the truth is, if you prepare as if you do not get the result you want, okay? So let's say that for whatever reason, that your particular situation is a no, that for whatever reason, that particular situation is a closed door, okay? And then what would you do? Would you apply to a different sort of work? Would you get a job doing something else while you waited to apply again? Okay. Now, here, see that rag that's just, it's hanging. It is not moving at all. But if I go over here and I find this orange one, look at how it's moving and flowing. Okay. What that is a symbol for to me is that sometimes what you think you want is not what is in your highest good. It's like what you think you want seems good, but spirit has a different plan. So if you start to make what I call a contingency plan, a plan for if it doesn't work out, you're going to feel freer. Okay. Even though my highest dream may not work, I am willing to make a plan B so that I'm ready either way. There's great wisdom in accepting the reality that it might not work. So, your worst case scenario, if I don't get in, my life is over. No, 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 no. If it doesn't work out, it just means there's something better waiting for you. Now, Yamini, I'm 73 years old. Okay. I'm like an auntie. Can we agree? And so, with all of my life experience and and I've done a lot of study about how do we get to the place we want to be. For example, passing that exam seems so important, and I know it is. But 10 years from now, it won't be important anymore, will it? And so, Spirit is always encouraging us to open up and expand our thinking. Another piece of advice on that, Yamini, is saying, I want to be accepted. This or something better, please, universe. Write that down. This or something better, please, God. This or something better, please, Spirit. Because we don't want to tie the hands of Spirit so that we miss out on an opportunity just because we are so sure that something is supposed to happen. Okay? Now, if you want a reading, please do sign up, manifestfaster.com. I'm Catherine, and I'm here to edutain you. Do you know what edutainment is? It's education and entertainment mixed together. And that's what I'm here for today. So if you would like a card, please do go to manifestfaster.com, and I'm more than happy to pull a fairy card for you. The deck that I'm using today is, hold on a second. is this one. Ooh, gotta have the Oracle of the Fairies. Beautiful cards, aren't they? Okay, let me fix my camera so I can see the cards without having to have three arms. And I'm going to draw a card for the collective. If you're here just by chance, you just scrolled by and walked in, this card is for you. So let me draw a card for the collective, and then I will go check and see if anyone has signed up for a personal card. If you want a personal fairy card, please stick around. Go to manifestfaster.com and I will pull a card for you. Meanwhile, collective, fairy lover, do you love the fairies like I do? Let's see what your card is. Let's take a peek and find balance. Look at her face. She's so happy, isn't she? She's so happy. Do you know why she has that grin on her face? It's because she just realized something. Have you ever had a problem or you were looking for something and you finally found it? You're like, oh, yeah, that's right. And she's just resting with that. She's just encouraged and inspired. And Yamini, this almost reminds me of you. I know that the figure may not look like you, but that face, that's so content. That's the face of someone who knows no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. No matter what happens, I will always be okay. And y'all, you should write that down because at 73, I can promise you, this has proved true over and over again. No matter what, things always work out. The winds of spirit are behind you, helping you advance forward. What's your work? Find balance. Find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap if you need to, right? So, this means mainly for anybody that's listening, if you tend to worry or if you're frustrated or anxious. So if you tend to worry or you get anxious, this is your card. It's important that you recognize when you're getting worried, when you're feeling that anxiety, and then do something about it right away to find your balance. All right? The quickest thing you can do is go outside, honestly, even if it's cold. If you go outside for a quick, brisk walk, 5 to 10 minutes, it's often all you need to come back into balance. You could use some of the tools that she has on her desk. She has crystals and a candle. You might have a crystal collection. You might actually have cards like I use. I want to tell you that the first few years that I was a reader, I just used the little book that comes with the cards. That's all I knew how to do. This would have been almost 30 years ago that I started using the cards as one of my healing tools. I've been helping people heal their broken heart for nearly my entire life through various work that I've done and friendships that I've had. However, the cards ended up making my work so much easier because they do all the work. I'm randomly picking a card and letting spirit entertain you with what shows up is the work of my lifetime, and it brings me great pleasure to do that right now. But I still have things that can cause me to lose my peace of mind. Coming out here to the woods is instant cure. Now, does it cure everything forever? Of course not. As a human, you'll always be facing dilemmas and problems that need solving. But we have spirit behind us 100% of the time. And all we need to do is look for the signs that are there. So as I look at her face and I see that the sense of, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I could do that. We are getting these little nudges little signs from spirit all the time that are giving us creative ideas for how to move forward. So allow yourself to ask for and receive signs from spirit as you go through this week, would you? Okay, let me peek here and see if anyone else is ready. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Is there anyone else here who would like me to draw a fairy card before we close? I know Murphy is back at the house and he loves, you should see him. I'll make a video of him running through these paths because it's so cute. He loves it out here. And in fact, I'm sure he's home barking, sad that I dared to leave the house without him. But now we're going to go and take a beautiful walk together and just enjoy this. It's a blessing, such a blessing to have this kind of mild weather in this part of the world in January. And I'm glad that you guys could be here with me and enjoy the scenery with me. I hope that you will come back soon. And remember, for the instant readings, you will be notified. Excuse me. Keep your eye on my community here at Facebook, at YouTube, because I will make a note when I'm available for instant readings. There's a 75% discount. I'm not kidding. 75% off of my normal rates to prepare and deliver an instant reading for you for the first 10 minutes. And if you've hung out in my world long enough, you know that I can squeeze a lot of juice out of 10 minutes of your time. So my readings start off at $1.99 a minute and they go up from there, and it's 75% off anyone who is their first time. Okay, so come and meet up with me. I would love to chat with you on the phone or text with you. So I'm going to draw one more card for you guys who are still here for the collective. What is your piece of fairy magic for today? My last card of the day, it is, wait, let me pull this away. There's some parts of doing this outside that worked, even though parts were a little bit confusing. And here we have the last card of the day, and hidden depths. Nice. And something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. Okay, so this is a very special message. If you have just tuned in, Spirit sees your heart. There's something that has been a little bit scary for you. There's a bit of vulnerability. Somebody is needing for you to be more vulnerable. You might be in a relationship where they have said to you, you're too much in your head. Why can't you just express yourself? Tell me what it is you want. But when you try to speak, it's like the words get locked up in your throat. You might be an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, or you might be working in a technical field. You might be a computer geek, doctor, accountant, a field that respects numbers and data, but has no gifting with emotional things. When I look at her, she's hip deep in water. Water is the symbol for the emotions. And so, how fast could you walk in this stream? If the water was up to your hips, how fast could you walk? Not very, correct? So, this card shows that what you're in right now is slower moving than what you're used to. Your mind is quick and you're witty and intelligent, and you get frustrated when people don't get you. I understand completely, but you're out of balance when it comes to your emotional language. It's almost like you have a learning problem with emotions. You feel way underqualified. You feel like a sixth grader again when you try to express your emotions. This can be remedied. Something is hidden within your heart that's keeping you trapped in that belief system. So, what you need to do is just be patient. Write down a list of what it is you deeply wish for when it comes to your connection with other people. What do you most deeply wish for? Be honest with yourself. What are you wanting when it comes to your relationship? And then ask Spirit to help you. You may use an affirmation like this that might be helpful. Even though I don't know how, I'm feeling guided by Spirit right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm learning about emotional energy right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm maturing in emotional matters right now. I will give you a reference. The reference I'm going to hand to you right now is Jimmy on relationships. I love his YouTube channel, Jimmy on relationships. He teaches so gently about how to relate in your relationships. And I believe that's going to be super important for you as we go forward in 2026. Okay. So, friends, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I will be going live for instant readings very quickly here, following up on this. And I look forward to having you call or text me because I would absolutely love to meet you. I would love to be able to help you with the tarot. And as I mentioned, there is a 75% discount on your first 10 minutes of an instant reading. So do keep your eye open. I post my availability on my socials, and I would love to read cards for you. Okay? Go forth and prosper, my dear friends. And thank you for being in the fairy garden with me today. I want you to know that when I see my prayer flags flying, I think of you. And I am so grateful that all of us are on this spiritual mission of letting our spirits fly free, unencumbered by doubts and fears, and that we can rise to who we were created to be. Okay? Go forth and prosper, my dear friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.